rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or guarantees for the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
What's up, everybody? This is a little bit different. We're doing things a little bit differently tonight. I'm Matt Zawoski, the host of the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast, aka Father Zoe, aka Southside Zoe. If you're watching this, we are going to be doing a playback tonight over at playback.tv. I got the address right down there. Aldo's going to be with me. What's up, Aldo? Fids is going to be there, and international internet superstar NASCAR Mitch will be there as well. If you guys are new to Playback, there's an app you can get it. You can watch it on your phone, or you can go, of course, to the website down there. And basically, the way that it works is you watch the game with us. So picture, I'm just going to try to paint a picture for you. So like me, Aldo, Fids, and Mitch are going to have like these little tiny screens at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And then the White Sox game with the Comcast Sportsnet announcers will be playing on the bigger screen behind us. And you could mute the announcers, and we're just going to basically hang out during the game. We're going to talk about what's going on in the game, what's going on with the White Sox right now, because boy, oh boy, is it a circus. And
it's either us or Gordon Beckham, so make your choice.
That is probably how I should have been advertising this right from the get-go. Yeah, and this will be the third one that we've done. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool way to watch the game with like-minded individuals, because the chat's very interactive. We could see all the chat just like when we're doing the show here. You can talk to us basically, and we're going to answer any and all questions, anything that's got going on. We wanted to come on here first because we're going to go over there about 8:15, because we do realize there's some people that watch the show only on Facebook or watch the show only on YouTube, and we absolutely love you. We love you guys for doing that, but we needed to communicate to you that this is where the show is going to be tonight. Again, it's www.playback.tv/pinwheels and Ivy.
Just spammed it in the comments.
It's really, again, if you're new to it, if this is the first time you're doing it, you do have to set up an account. It takes all of 2 seconds. It actually helps us out if you set up an account and then watch us. If you guys want to figure out, if you've always been sitting there wondering to yourself, how can I show these guys some love without actually donating some of my hard-earned cash? This is how you can do it. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. But this would really help. Playback is a great platform. It's really up and coming. I've talked to some of the creators of it. There's some really cool stuff coming out. We're really honored to be kind of in on the ground floor here. Your computer is going to be confused, Senor Sox, that it's not a porn link. It's going to be like, wait, are you sure you want to click on this, dude? But yeah, I think you guys will really enjoy it if you've never done it before. And obviously we're not, you don't have to stay for the whole 3 hours for the game. Pop in, hang out for a couple innings, pop back out, pop back in. Once you set up the account, you can watch anything. And we're not the only creators in the Chicago baseball realm that do that. There's a lot of people from some of the other shows, the 108 guys, Sox Machine. I know Brian, aka Magnificent Stan from Sadistic Penguin. He does a wrestling show on Wednesday nights. So it's pretty cool. You don't have to just do baseball either. We can literally do these for anything. We're going to do my penance of watching a NASCAR race. We'll probably do it on Playback.
That one we should make everyone stick around for like 4 hours or whatever it's going to be.
I don't even know how I'm going to stick around for 4 hours. So that's going to be really interesting. But for the handful of people that are watching now, me and Aldo are just going to basically be chilling here for another 10 minutes. If you want to ask us questions in the comments, The other thing I'm going to talk about, though, to kind of get the ball rolling here, is obviously the hottest topic, if you will, in White Sox Twitter, and that's Tim Anderson. It's Tim Anderson because there's a lot going on with Tim. The biggest thing that I think is going, to start out with is when Jose Abreu left, this was dubbed Tim Anderson's team right away. And he earned that. I mean, with his seasons in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, where he all batted over 300, and the way that he carries himself and he's vocal, and this should have by all means been Tim Anderson's team, and it hasn't been. Tim really hasn't been too. I mean, obviously we don't know what's going on inside the locker room, but you can kind of just tell with the interviews and what's going on. Just doesn't look like Tim has kind of grabbed those reins. And I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know already, but it's worse than just that. Although put in our group chat that out of all available players, Tim Anderson has the worst WRC plus in the league. And for those of you that don't know what WRC plus is, 100 is like an average player.
Right, just league average, just like
league average is 100. If you're below 100, you're not great. If you're above 100, you're doing something right. So, for example, in 2020, Tim Anderson batted 322. Or no, here we'll do 2019 when he hit 335 batting average, and that's the year he won the batting title. I'm like, yeah,
yes.
Tim Anderson's WRC was 128. In 2020, his WRC plus was 140. So that indicates that he's a good player. He's 40 points above average. Right now, Tim Anderson's 50.
Bad.
That's really bad, folks. Especially in a year where Tim has obviously looked around, saw all these other shortstops getting paid, knowing that he only has one more year left after this year with the White Sox on paper. He could be playing for that big money. This is not how Tim Anderson wanted this to go. And I see comments, and it just sucks to see this kind of stuff where people think he's lazy, people are calling him a shithead, all this stuff. No. Like, the guy's obviously motivated by money. Like, this would be the year to not be lazy out of anything. And now, thanks, Missy. Watch the playback. But I think it's weird, and I tweeted this morning and got a lot of responses, but I think it's weird that when speaking about the tough season Tim Anderson's having this year, a lot of people just go straight for the personal shit. Because we all know what's going on off the field. And again, I've said it a billion times. I'll say it a billion more on the show. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm not looking for the guy to be my moral compass. I'm looking for him to be my leadoff man and shortstop with a higher WRC plus of 100. I mean, he's not like physically hurting anyone. He's not committing any crimes. Is he being kind of a shitty person about it? That's up to you. I mean, I don't agree with adultery and definitely having babies out of wedlock, but hey, man, his wife seems to still be supporting him. I don't know if it's a whole, Jordan and his wife scenario where they got like some kind of contract or some shit, but it is what it is. But I think it's really weird that people go right for that as the cause for everything. And my favorite are the people that like try to pinpoint the news broke on this day, and after this day, he's been bad all year. The thing that doesn't get mentioned, in my point, is Tim's been hurt a lot. And these aren't minor injuries, and they're injuries in key places for a guy that plays with the athletic prowess as Tim Anderson does.
Yeah.
We're talking, what was it, a knee?
The knee sprain in Minnesota.
Knee sprain. We're talking shoulder injury now. We're talking, I mean, they played him at second base because he couldn't make the throw at shortstop.
Yeah.
Like,
And we've said it so many times with other players that struggle, and what all the criticism that seems like it's a pile on one guy. And
Yeah.
it sucks because it seems that way, but it's only because the team, the manager, whoever's making the decisions is like, I mean, we've seen it all year where he has not been good after he came back from the injury. And this goes back to last year after he was injured and then came back and was awful before he was shut down again. Is if a guy is struggling, you can see it. He is not the same player. He's not the same type of hitter. He has
No.
been your leadoff hitter most of the year, and then they just recently, for whatever reason, Pedro Grifal's like big solution was like, all right, well we'll just bat him second, so he'll have the second most plate
Which is
appearances.
wild to me too. Yeah. I mean,
So it's just like, okay, that doesn't fix your problem, Pedro.
no.
Like like you said it, he is a bottom of the order hitter right now. And you have to get to a point where like it doesn't matter. You are the manager. Whatever, whoever, somebody man up here and be like, Tim,
Hmm.
we're batting you like seventh tonight or something because you're hurting the team.
Right.
Like Tim Anderson isn't showing up to Pedro Grifal's like his manager's office and be like, "Hey, Skip, wrote the lineup for you. How do you like it?" Like it's not, obviously you want Tim Anderson to be better, but
Yep.
he's not writing himself into the top of the lineup.
And I've mentioned this before. It's Tim Anderson, from what I know of him, and again, all I know of him is the player Tim Anderson. I don't, go out for drinks with him or anything like that. Is he seems like the type to me that would respond in a positive way to being demoted to like 7, 8, 9 in the lineup.
Right.
I feel like just moving him to 2 is kind of just like it's almost like babying him. Like, oh, you're losing your leadoff spot, but you're still gonna bat second. It's okay. It's. I feel like he'd respond. I think Tim likes to be motivated. Tim likes to have that chip on his shoulder, and you can hear from interviews like where he constantly says like, "No one thought I could do this. No one thought I'd be here. No one thought," and like that's what kind of got him to this level. And I don't think it's a lack of him finding things to motivate himself at this point, but I sure as shit think putting him in the bottom third of your lineup would light a little bit of a fire under his ass to get back into that top spot. And I mean, Andrew Benintendi's been quietly hitting very well for the White Sox.
Yeah.
Like he's doing what he is. I know people want more pop, but he's a doubles guy. He's always been a doubles guy. And I don't know why that narrative came out when the Sox signed him that he would magically be like a 15, 20 home run guy.
Yeah.
He's never been that. But so that was the right move moving him there. But I really think you got to move Tim to the bottom third. And another thing that I wanted to point out, Tim's always been the BABIP king of baseball. And for those of you that don't know what BABIP is, BABIP, it basically means when you put the ball in play, it finds holes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. That's a pretty good way to explain it, right? Like,
yeah, just so because it takes out home runs because obviously home runs are not in play. So
right.
every time you hit the ball, what average of those balls that you hit into play are hits?
Mhm.
And basically, like the first year, the whole BABIP conversation with like a guy like Tim Anderson brings up because his first 3 years, he was a bad hitter, and then 2019 out of nowhere, he's like hitting 400 in April, and everyone's like, well, yeah, well, he has like a 450 BABIP, like that's not going to keep up. But how did he keep it up for 3 years? He kept hitting line drives. He kept hitting the ball hard. You're going to have a higher BABIP as long as you keep hitting the ball hard. That's not rocket science. You hit the ball
Right.
harder more frequently, good things are going to happen to you. That's what TA was doing for 3 years.
I own Jordan. I know you killed Tupac, but I will own it. I didn't realize 2017, Benintendi had 20 homers. 2018, he had 16. 2019, he had 13. 2021, he had 17. 2022, he only had 5, and then he came to the White Sox, and now he's only got 1. So the power's like steadily declined, but
he made that rapid change in Kansas City where he's like, all right, gonna hit for average.
His sophomore season in Baltimore, which all in all is looking like arguably his best overall season. No, actually, 2018 he was a 5 WAR player. But yeah, 2018 he was a 5-WAR. 2017, even though he had more power numbers, he was only a 1.5 WAR player. But anyways, he's hitting fine on the White Sox right now. Like that's what you get him for. But Tim Anderson's BABIP coming full circle here is the lowest it's been. It's the second lowest it's been in his entire career. In 2018, when he only hit 240, his BABIP was 289, and right now his BABIP is 292. To put it into better terms, the 2019 season where he batted 335, his BABIP was 399.
Yeah. And then
That's a crazy high number.
And then going back to the, hitting the ball hard that year. So this is his hard hit percentage by year starting in 2019. So 2019, 32.2, 2020, 32.1, 2021 when he hit well above 300 again, 33.7. And then last year goes down 28.5%. So far this year, it's below 30%. So if you're not hitting the ball hard anymore, and you're not a guy who hits for power, which, TA had that season or two with the juice balls that he was hitting some home runs. But whether it's a combination of injuries or pitchers attacking different parts of the zone, I haven't looked up at those numbers. Maybe that's part of it. The combination of everything is just what we're getting right now, which is, statistically one of the worst hitters in baseball.
Yep. And another thing, kind of to come back to an earlier point. Oh shit, it's 8:17. Although we gotta go.
We got a 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
1 minute warning. So everyone, real quick, playback.tv/pinwheels and Ivy. Me and Aldo are going to be going over there in just a minute. I'm sure Fids is in there pacing, wondering where the hell we are. But the other thing with TA, though, it goes back to the injuries. Look at TA's swing. Look at it before the knee injury, after the knee injury. It obviously affected him, just like, as Jordan says in the comments, Benintendi's broken hand is still fucking him up. TA's knee is still fucking him up. I guarantee it. I would put my life on it. He's not going to admit it because TA's that kind of guy, but I swear that's what's happening. So, all right, everybody, we appreciate you coming into this little 15-minute ramble here. But head over to playback.tv/pinwheels and Ivy. Create an account. We're probably going to spam it the shit on Twitter as we're doing it. But thank you, everyone, and we will see you over there.